We're delighted to unveil that Sport for Business is working in partnership with the European Sponsorship Association to bring the benefits of a sponsorship sales certificate course that is run by the ESA to Irish sporting bodies and sporting organisations. I'm joined today by Kat Hawkins, CEO of Think Sponsorship and the course director of the Sponsorship Sales Certificate with the ESA. Hello, Kat, and thanks very much for making this available to Ireland. What are we going to learn from sitting down in a virtual sense with you?
Well, I mean, you could say, what won't you learn about the sales process? And the course has been really designed to take sponsorship sales practitioners from the start to the end of a typical kind of sponsorship sales process, and in the course of doing that, really understand, build and develop the kind of cornerstones of effective sponsorship sales practice. So it's a very, very interactive, pragmatic course, which you would think is quite difficult to achieve through a remote learning program, but we have a lot of sort of shared space and pin opportunities and weekly kind of digital hangouts to share and reflect on the learning. So I suppose in summary, I would say it would be a complete journey in best practice sponsorship sales techniques.
Okay, and probably never been a better time to actually learn and to get ready for when we do emerge from this. It's inevitable that sponsorship is going to be impacted. It is most likely that the bigger sports are going to be okay in a changed circumstance, but perhaps for those smaller sports, they're going to have to be much more ready and much more willing to actually sort of throw themselves into the science behind sponsorship sales, because they're going to be asked an awful lot more questions. It's not going to be easy, is it?
Definitely not. I think we were in a competitive marketplace sort of pre-COVID-19, and when we come out of it, it will be even more acutely so. And I suppose we probably will face what I would say is a sort of enduring challenge actually for the sector, which is demonstrating return on investment. And I think that challenge is as acute whether you're spending, 100,000 euros, 10,000 euros, €1 million. You're really going to want to see what will the commercial return through this association be. So I definitely agree with you, Rob. It is a good time to upskill, and I'm sure that those skills will come into play very quickly as we restart up and revisit live sport and sponsorship opportunities within that. But I think the challenge is real for large and small rights holders in equal measure. Certainly, as you say, there'll be some sports properties that are only impacted in a small way, but I think that for the most of us, we'll be working very hard to secure and retain our sponsor partners as we move into this next era.
Okay, and the course will go really from identifying what your sponsorship assets are, how to package them, how to actually sort of attribute value to them and go out there and sell it. So it looks like a winner. We've got the details now on screen as to when it's kicking off. The course will run in over 4 weeks and it's 8 modules, isn't that right?
Yes, that's right. We steadily sort of drip feed and drop into people's space the building blocks of what you've just described, that systematic journey across all those key skill sets that you need to be an effective salesperson. And alongside the videos, there's a lot of kind of templates, toolkits to support learning and the chance to really apply those theoretical considerations to your own property and get both feedback from myself, but also peer-to-peer feedback, which for this last kind of digital course, which just finishes today actually, has been invaluable, I think, to the participants in being able to obviously learn from the materials, but learn from one another as well. And that's been really brilliant. But I suppose the last bit of it, and I'm sure we'll come on to this, is the assessment side of it. As I'm sure you're aware, ESA is committed to raising standards across the industry And the accreditation process, which is the sort of final component beyond the modules and the videos, is I suppose the element that a lot of participants are aspiring to achieve, and to get that accreditation and recognition of being a practitioner with a well structured skill set that really is relevant and up to standard for today's sort of sales practice.
Absolutely, and that works from an individual's perspective in terms of your career progress and development and continuous learning, but also from an organization. I know with one foot in both camps in terms of the commercial and the sporting side, it's always good to know that the people that you're dealing with, either on one side or the other, are as upskilled as they possibly can be. So really looking forward to this. I'm hoping that if we've got enough of an interest from Ireland as well, that we'll be able to do something here, so that we'll be able to have a little side group that we'll be able to discuss and talk through, and hopefully help them along with that on the longer journey. So brilliant to work with ESA. Stay tuned. We'll have all of those details as to how to enter again. The next course kicks off on Monday morning, June the 8th, and you'll be able to apply to take part in it up until Friday, June the 5th. So don't leave it until the last minute. There are a limited number of places on the course, so it comes heartily recommended. Thank you very much to Kat Hawkins for joining us today and for talking us through this. Really looking forward to getting stuck in and to upskilling the Irish sponsorship sector.